again, everybody. This is Darick from ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. That's right, ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. And today what we're going to do is we're going to have a Grind My Gears, another episode of Grind My Gears. If you don't know what Grind My Gears is, it's a video segment that I have on my YouTube channel that you can watch that where I talk about various things in my life or in the world in general, or airsoft or otherwise, that I find frustrating or concerning to me, and then I share it with the rest of the world, and you might learn something, you might not. Today what I'm talking about is the real world. I'm talking about gun control. Today I'm talking about gun control, some things that are going on in the world today. This is January 2013, and there are some alarming things going on in the world, and I want to share that. Not necessarily share that, but express my opinion about what's going on. Let you know where I stand and how I feel, and maybe you can share this video with some of your friends and let them see. And you might get a laugh. You might agree with me. You might think I'm totally off base. Okay, I want to have a few disclaimers at the beginning of this. First of all, I want to say this is very concerning to me. This is very concerning to me. This is more concerning than any other video that you've seen from me. Now, first of all, I want to say some disclaimers. First of all, normally I am very PC. I'm very politically correct. I will have an open mind, and I try to err on the side of caution, and I try to think positive thoughts about everyone, and I try, just like my parents always taught me, and hopefully they taught you, if you don't have something good to say, don't say anything at all. That's usually my mantra, okay? I try not to say bad things, but in this video you're probably going to hear something that you might or might not like. Here's some of the disclaimers. You might hear some vulgarity in this, or you might not like what I'm about to say about gun control. What I'm also going to say is there's two sides to this conversation or this commentary that I'm going to have. There's two sides. There is they and we. Okay, if you are in this party, if you believe that guns need to be controlled stronger than they already are, if you think that there should be a ban on guns, if you think that guns need to be either prohibited or taxed, if you feel that guns or gun sales need to have a tighter control on them, then you are part of the group that I like to call they. If you believe in freedom, in the American Constitution, if you believe in more open rights, and if you believe in our rights, if you believe in America, then you are part of we. Okay, so here we go. I believe, or let me tell you about what really sparked this video, because I was not going to make a video, and I don't even know how long this video is going to last, but I did not want to make this video. I honestly said to myself, man, all this stuff's going on in this world, and I have a following. It's not a very large following. It's a couple thousand people watch my channel, and I could reach them, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything about this because I believe that it's probably just a scare. There are some people out there that want to take your assault weapons away from you. There are some people out there that want to make it harder for you to get a gun. There are, and I'm talking real guns. I'm talking real ARs. I'm not talking airsoft at this point. I'm talking, 5.56, 223, 7.62s. There are people out there that they want to take your rights away from you. And there recently was some shootings, and I want to back up, and another disclaimer I want to put out there is I do not condone violence. I do not believe that violence is the solution to most scenarios. You do not want to use violence in any case, okay? I strongly believe that in most cases, in 100% of the cases that the U.S. I strongly support the United States and our judicial system. It works. I still believe in America, okay? I still believe that the American people won't allow this to happen. But there are a few people out there that think that, oh, back up. I don't condone violence in any way. And I'm getting confused because this is not a scripted grind my gears. I do not have this written up. I decided I'm just going to do it. I pulled the camera out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk about it. So if I seem to be jumping around all over the place, I apologize. Just bear with me. Okay, so there were some recent killings in Connecticut. Okay, we all know about it. We've heard about it in the news. It's constantly in the public, in the press. It's in the media. First of all, my prayers and my heart goes out to those families. Okay. That was totally heinous what this person did. He went in and just did something that no human being should ever do, okay? And what he did, I do not know the story. I was not there. I cannot speak from personal experience. I was not there. But whatever he did is not justifiable, okay? It's just not, it was not cool. And I support you. If you happen to be one of those families that are watching this video, I'm sorry that it happened to you. And I know that these kids didn't deserve that. Okay, so that's out of the way. But now I'm going to say something that you might not like. Okay, killings happen daily. There are people dying all over the world. Okay, and you cannot say that the gun is the reason why these people are dying. The gun isn't, the gun is just a hammer. The gun is not, it's just a tool. It's not what is causing these people to die. It is not killing them. The gun does not kill people. You've heard this before. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. You've heard that 100 million times. Okay. But there are okay, back up. Take a deep breath. Okay, so I was not going to make this video. I was just going to say, okay, there's a scare. There's people that are afraid that guns are going to be controlled. And then there's some vocalists out there that really believe that guns should be banned, and they've spoke up and they've proposed these bills and these laws, legislation. They're trying to get it all passed, saying that we can't have guns. There's even people out there that believe that there's going to be a law saying that these police officers or whoever, ATF, or whoever's going to come into your house and take your guns. Okay, I believe in America, and I believe that constitutional rights allow me to have guns, and that if I'm a law-abiding citizen, which I am, and I want to or don't want to have a gun, that's my right as an American. Okay, and so I honestly believe, and I strongly believe, that the country is smart enough to understand this. And I believe that government wants to believe or wants to support our Constitution, and they don't want to take any of our rights away, and they're not going to just allow a few lobbyists or a few congressmen or congresswomen to go ahead and pass a law that's going to take our guns away from us. So I don't believe that's going to happen, and that's why I wasn't going to do a video. But then something happened in New York just recently, just a few days ago. Something happened in New York that made me think about what I was thinking. It made me change my train of thought, like, OMG, this actually happened in New York. And that just tells me that there are people out there that are behind this concept of taking your constitutional rights away from you. There are people that now, and then I took a deep breath, and as you know, I'm very PC, and I like to think positive thoughts about everyone in the world. I think that 99% of people in the world are good, and there's that 1% out there that aren't good. So I was hoping that maybe they were just trying to show that maybe they were in support of gun law, you know, the gun rights. Maybe they were supporting gun rights by saying, well, check this out. Look how many people have handgun carry permits in these 2 counties in New York. And check it out, look at all these people. They have handgun carry permits. You know, there are a lot of people that have it. If you haven't really paid attention to what's going on in New York, in this one newspaper, and you can find this out on Fox News. You go to Fox News and you can watch a little video that shows off what actually happened. You know, I don't have all the details. I wasn't there. I didn't do the research. I didn't, you know, it's not me. But when I saw this, it just infuriated me. And I'm not even in New York. And it still infuriated me. It made me so angry. You cannot imagine how angry I was. I was storming around at work, you know, going, oh my, I can't believe this happened, you know. This is what happened. In New York, a newspaper, I'm not going to say any names, but a newspaper released the names and addresses of handgun carry permit holders and their location. They had a map that you could go to and click on a dot that showed you exactly where they lived and whether or not they had a handgun carry permit. And in their defense, they said the Freedom of Information Act. Okay, yes, there is freedom of information. Not all information is free. You just cannot put that kind of, first of all, you put them in danger. You put people who don't have a handgun permit and they're not on the list, you put them in danger. Because now, and I always think the opposite side. I try to I'm a thinker, you know, and I evaluate both sides of the story. If you were a criminal, the whole reason why all this is going about is because there are criminals out there that have guns, right? And these criminals commit crimes, of course. Criminals will always commit crimes. That's the definition of a criminal. Okay, so you have a criminal out there and he goes, hey, check this out. This guy, he's on the list. If I need a gun, I might know where to go to get one. Or, let's flip the script. Hey, I want to go rob this house, do a home invasion. Let's check on the list to see if they potentially have a gun. You know, their name's not on the list. Okay, let's bust in, you know. So basically you put that whole community at risk, you know, and luckily, this was supposed to happen in 3 counties and only 2 allowed it to happen, and the 3rd county commissioner or whoever he is, whatever government official, he said, no, you are not permitted to do that. He's smart. And I can commend him for making that decision. The other ones either didn't realize what was going on, or they just had a piece of paper come across their desk and they signed it, and you know, and I feel sorry for them and their constituents because now they're all at risk. I live in a free state, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was like this all over the place. I was naive, you know, and I thought it was like this state everywhere. And then when I started doing a little bit of research on what states are allowed to have what kind of guns and you know what the different laws are, because I work in a gun store where I actually sell real guns, and now I'm more in tune with the different laws of some of the different states that don't permit gun sales or they allow gun sales, but they have there's different laws in every state, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm in one of the states that have one of the most open gun laws out there that I know of. I mean, there's a few of us out there, there's a few states out there that are like us, but we're the exception to the rule. And I am ashamed of this country. I'm ashamed. I'm part of this country, and I'm Captain America, you know. I'm the guy that I champion this country, and I love this country, and I cannot believe what's going on in this country. I can't believe there are so many people that are behind this. I had to take a deep breath and I had to regather my thoughts because I started to get off on a tangent. Most people have guns for either personal defense, they're afraid for their safety, or they hunt and they go out and they shoot deer and they hunt, okay? And they're turkey or squirrels, or you get a 22, you go out and shoot a squirrel, right? Because if you didn't have these hunters out there, deer and squirrels and turkeys and everything else might or might not become a nuisance. Hunting will never be stopped. You're not going to stop hunting. Yes, they have seasons and they have quotas. You can only shoot so many of these, so many days. That controls the population of the animals. Okay, if you start taking the guns away, then the people aren't going to be able to hunt. And a lot of people out there are hunting to supplement their food, their income. Now you're cutting it. If you keep them from guns, you're going to keep them from their income, which isn't really being, you're not going to be able to sell hunting licenses, which states get resources out of their hunters from their license sales. You're cutting into those, that's basically a tax that the states are not going to be able to get because they don't have guns and they don't have ammunition, that won't be able to go out and hunt. Okay, that's only half of it. The other half is your personal defense reasons. People keep a shotgun or they'll keep a handgun in their house because they're afraid that there's criminals out there that might try to rob them, or they might try to cause them bodily harm. An old lady just recently, I saw it in the news not too long ago, where she had to shoot a gentleman because he was breaking into her house because he was trying to hurt her. And she wasn't going out on the street. She wasn't going to shoot the guy. She had no, and she didn't even want to shoot the guy. She even yelled at him in the window, told him, "Hey, I have a gun. If you come in this house, I'm going to shoot you." Okay, if you hear that, are you going to continue to break in? No, because you're smart. First of all, you're not going to be breaking in because you're law-abiding. This guy that continued to break in, he's obviously going to cause her harm. She shot him. Is she going to be brought up on crime? No. Okay, I'm going in 15 different directions. What I'm trying to say is, law-abiding citizens that buy their guns at law-abiding stores, fill out the proper paperwork, have their backgrounds checked, should be allowed to have any gun they want. It's up to them how they use it. If they've got a criminal record, they are, if they've been deemed mentally incompetent, of course, they should not be allowed to have guns. That's just logical. That's just smart. That's smart. But if you are a law-abiding citizen, you should be allowed to have any gun you want. Okay, that's my personal opinion. If I want to have an AR, okay, assault weapon, assault rifle, then I should be allowed to have an assault rifle. If I think it's cool, I love M4 style guns because the stock's adjustable. I can put a rail on the front. I can put flashlights. Because what if I'm in the house? Somebody breaks in the house and it's dark. Maybe he cut my power and I have a flashlight on my rifle. I'll be able to shoot him. Okay? And I'll be able to defend myself. I will live. But if you take my AR away from me and I have to use a billy club, that's not right, What if when I get older or whatever, I might not be able to defend myself as good as I can today? I can defend myself today. When I'm older and maybe I bust a hip or something, I might rely on a gun to defend myself. I might rely on that. And if you take that away from me, if you take that away from the public, that's just third thing. Okay, I'm getting into self-defense and hunting. Let's back up. And let's go back to like 1700, okay? Let's go back to when the country was founded, 1775, something like that. 1776, 4th of July, sometime around then, I'm not going to give any specific dates, but let's talk about our Constitution, okay? And I cannot believe that this is going on this long, this video. A Constitution. What our constitutional fathers, let's say John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, what were they thinking? Why did they write this Constitution? What the hell was up with that? Why did they even make this Constitution? Think about it. Why did they make it? Well, first of all, we were still part of a bigger government. We were part of England, weren't we? Yeah, something like that. You know, we were part of this tyrannical government that we didn't want to be a part of. They controlled everything. They taxed everything. You know, they had the crazy taxes. I mean, I don't even know. Like, they taxed our tea. You know, we're drinking tea, they taxed tea. You know, they taxed all kinds of things. We didn't want that. Why did we leave that wonderful world? We came to this new world and colonized it and made a whole country about it, and we decided, hey, we rebelled, right? We rebelled, and we formed our own government, and we created this constitution. Now, I'm paraphrasing, and if I get something wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm just paraphrasing. We formed our own government, and our forefathers, the guys that decided that this is what we needed to be done, wrote up this constitution. And they said, this is the reason, and you know what it was? It was a love letter. It was a love letter to the king. It said, hey, king, this is why we're leaving. You know, hey, goodbye. This is a Dear John letter. They wrote it to him. They said, here you go. This is why we're leaving, because we want this and this and this and this. And that's what the Constitution was. And it says, this is why. Okay. Because we don't have these things. And this is why we're leaving. So basically what they're saying is that these reasons were enough to rebel. And if you start, and today we have certain individuals that want to start taking these lines out of the Constitution and making them non-existent. And if they do that, and if you take enough of them away from us, one in general, two maybe, who knows, you're going to start to have riots in the street. I'm just predicting. I don't know, and I do not condone anything like this. But you're going to have, I'm predicting that we're going to have riots in the street. You're going to, maybe not riots, maybe not riots, maybe just picket lines. Like, we want this, we want that. You're going to see a lot of that. What is it? And then you're going to have, the police come out. They're going to have to deal with this, and then it might get violent. People are going to start, throwing rocks, maybe, who knows what. Okay, and I don't condone any of that. And then you're going to have some crazy guy. He's probably going to shoot somebody. I don't know, maybe, and then he's going to be taken to jail, and then it's going to fuel the fire of see, look at this crazy guy, he shot somebody, and that's why we don't want guns. And it's going to be a vicious cycle, and I hope this blows over, and I hope that nothing like this ever comes to fruition, because I love this country, and this country is great, and I strongly support freedom and the Constitution and what's in the Constitution. And if you're curious to know what's in the Constitution, I'm going to put a picture of the Constitution. No, I'm not. I'm going to type in and put over here somewhere what's actually in the Constitution, so you can actually kind of see. Now, yes, there has been amendments to the Constitution as years go on, and yeah, I can see where some amendments are necessary, because things that were going on in 1700 aren't really going on in the year 2000, and it doesn't make sense. So there's some amendments. Truly, gun rights. Why is that? Why is the right to bear arms in the Constitution? It is not so that I can go hunting. Not so I can have personal defense in my house. That's not the reason why there's a right to bear arms. When you're talking about bearing arms, what they're talking about is the people, and correct me if I'm wrong, the people have the right to defend themselves against unjust governments. If the government is talking or doing things that endanger or impede upon the freedoms, inalienable rights of your people, then the people have the right to stop it. Okay, luckily in our country right now, our people get to decide what is right and what is wrong. And I love that. I love that about this country. So we get to vote. We vote, and they put up a bill in front of the people, and they say, do we want to have ice cream on this day, or do we not? And you get to say yes or no. And then okay, you said yes, okay, everyone has to have ice cream on this day, or whatever. And that is our voting. Now, as soon as you take the voting away from the people and you put it in 1 or 2 or 3 people's hands, then it becomes mandated by the government. And when it becomes mandated by the government, that's when people get mad, because we didn't get a chance to make a decision on that. And that right there, that is why people have the right to bear arms. And when you take the right to bear arms away, that's the most important right we have. That right there, the freedom of speech, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you can speak out, or you're not endangering the life of someone. Okay, sure. Right to bear arms. Okay, sure. I can have a gun as long as I don't shoot somebody. Okay, that's cool. As soon as I start just blowing people away, then I become the criminal, and then, okay, then yeah, put me in jail, execute me, whatever it is, whatever it takes. Okay, I'm sorry. I went way off left field, and I'm glad you guys took your time to watch this whole video, and I strongly hope, and I still believe in this American country, and this government is going to be able to figure this out, and they're going to let it blow over, and they are going to lose steam as time goes on, and they'll fade away into the woodwork, and we will still have our rights. So thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and remember, guys, stay safe.